Shh. Morning, everyone. It is 7:20. I'm going to get James. It's already. I'm already a little bit late, so we're going to get him. It's still dark. We're still in the winter stage. We are working for a subscriber today, so we make an exception. It's about an hour. Aircon supplies, I believe. We're going to have a look and we're going to get the bits. See you in a bit. Right, here we are. Top man is back. Look, he's had a lovely Christmas break. He's really up for this one. So this is the garage. I'll show you the board. So we've got 3-phase distribution board coming in. It's a fairly big property. He's just had this done and he's not that keen on it. This is for his 3-phase Tesla. Yeah, anyway, we'll get into that later. We're just going to go around now and do a recce, get the material list. So we've got to put 2 supplies in here. I thought they were both 32, but I think one can be a 20, one can be a 32 amp. So 2 MCBs going in here. These don't do anything, so he's happy for me to... Was that on or off? Oh, that's that one. Basement ring, okay. Don't press that RCBO, James, because it trips. We've got to put 2 armoured in here, coming out of this board. We're going to go up through this ceiling, through the garage, and we're just going to put it in. This is going to come out here somewhere. We're going to put it in white trunking. 2 armoured, probably get a 4x2. I'm not sure yet. We're going to just work it out in a minute. Length of run, probably going to be 6 mils. Be on the safe side. Come along here, along this garage roof. Run all the way along. That's one of the new internal units, so we've got to come out near these pipes and then run it externally along the building. But we will show you that in a minute. But at first, James is going to get on and do some squats. The garage where we just was, this is the internal unit. So we're going to end up coming out here somewhere in armoureds, basically. 2 armoureds, 2 6mm armoureds. We'll probably come up with these and probably go on the top of these, to be fair. We won't cable tie to it because the guys go mental when you cable tie to their pipes, so we'll just go along the top to here to here. One's going to stop here. We're going to put an isolator in, and this is 21.5 amps, okay, max current when it's on full load. So we'll put an isolator there for that one. We'll then carry the other armoured round. Client wants us to go under here, around and around, round and around, and then around and around. That's why I'm putting in 6mm, because this length's quite long. We've got to power this one, okay? And the max current on that one is smaller, 17.5 amps. So we've got to do that one. And then this one here is on a 13 amp, so it could go on a plug top, but what we'll do, there's an existing socket under here, and we're going to change that for a double for the client because it doesn't, we don't know if it's on the ring, so we need to get that off, make sure that is on the ring final, and then we can actually put an isolator off of that, as long as the ring can take it, you know, as long as it's not like a kitchen ring, it should be absolutely fine. So oh, right, we are 700 odd quid lighter. We've got some 3x3 bandy straps, some cable, isolators, blah blah blah. We had to come to Grant and Stone. It's the only one local. There's no point in buying stuff and it all being wrong. So we're now going to go and we're going to try and get all the cables in today. That'll be a good job done. Right, first thing we're going to do is get our route in. I've checked here. This is going to be a clear run all the way through the garage for our 3x3 trunking to put our 2 armoureds in. He then comes out up there in the cupboard there, but below that pipe, between that soil stack out, and then we can drop him into the mains board in here. We've also bought some bandy strap, and I believe this is all ply, so we can just screw to the ceiling, put some bandy strap in the trunking for the premature collapse, and then we'll have to drill a hole out through the end. And that's our goal today, is try and get this trunking run through and outside. Good job, James. Good job. Good job. Right, we've done 2 separate holes. It was easy, to be fair. It's come out where I wanted it, above that pipe and below that one. so we can get the armours round next. But we'll do that later, okay? Next we're gonna do is get our trunking set out. It's gonna run all the way along, and then as I said, we're gonna do bandy strap probably every metre, do a bandy strap fixing, just wrap it around the cables and fix it up. So we bought some pre-made bends for these, but they didn't have a lot in stock. We were gonna do internal, external, but it's just not gonna work out because there's not enough depth on these beams. So what I'm gonna have to do is overrun the trunking by 3, butt it up, and then just cut the lid on the 45. I've done it before, it should look absolutely fine. Just a little update, we've got the trunking run in. We obviously can't drill through these beams, so we've got to go and put a piece over, and we're just gonna butt it up. And then as I said, I'll cut the trunking after. Same with that one. We've overrun it by 3 inches. We'll cut the back out of that, and then it'll give the armours a nice gentle swoop rather than sort of bending them. So that will swoop into there, and we'll just lid up to there. That hole's through, we just got to drill the hole. Last bit of trunking, then a hole out that wall. So end of trunking, we've cut out the side, we're going to run a piece along, try and get it as close to where the guys have come out. We've got some ornate brick here we need to avoid, and there's a drain pipe here, so we're going to come across a metre, drill on the angle out, and then we'll have to loop our cables up and above with the aircon pipes. Right, we've done one hole through the end wall. It's concrete, block and brick, so it's quite a big hole to drill, quite tough. We've got a 36 metre, and we got a, what was that? 50 something, wasn't it? It was about 80 something metres, 85 in total, so they did us 2 cuts. So we're going to poke this one out. Hopefully that hole's big enough, then we just got to drill another one, a couple of bits of trunking, get this out of the garage today. That's our goal, hopefully. Right, open up the window so James can hear me. There's the first one. Right, ready, mate? I'm gonna pull enough to that first unit. That's the shortest run. Hi ho, it's off to work I go. Jesus, this is heavy. I think it's 60 metres. Ugh. Going to unravel it out here and then push less length that way, like 30 metres that way. So there's our second hole there, look. Look at this, Grant and Stone, look. Cheers, lads. Luckily, I'll probably lose that in the cupboard, and we can cut that off, hopefully. Got enough length, hopefully. Right, we finally got those holes through. That was interesting. There's rebar in this concrete structure. Horrible. So we've managed to get those drilled. I'll just show you what we're doing. They're curling. You see why I've gone for the 3x3 now, just to give the SWA a bit of a bend. I've put some cleats in on this one, and then we're going to go along. Once I've got the other armoured up, we're going to go along and put some bandy strap round, give them the premature collapse. So carry on with this one. We've still got to do a couple of little trunking bits along these beams, because these are beams, we can't drill these. And then once this is all up and in, we'll come back to you. Okay, there's one armoured. Right, go on, buddy. That is that. Remember that I told you about? Look, remember that? He's come out of here, look. Is that it? So we'll have to take that bit up. It's not so bad. We'll put a bit of black tape on that. It's literally within the cupboard, look. There's the cupboard. Bit of a shame, but that's life. So that's one armoured in. We're still cleating. We just got this bit to cleat along. And then we obviously got to go round with some bandy strap, but obviously we want to get, as you can see, we've got cleats. We want to get this other one in first, then we'll double bandy strap them together. Just, it's going to save less time because we're already sort of 1/2 now. I'll just show you the sort of bends we've done. We haven't sort of crimped the armoured, it sort of runs in, it runs round, so we haven't sort of bent it too much. So the radius is still good on the cable, look. And there, like that. Okay, both of our SWAs are now through our holes that we drilled. We'll leave these coiled up here for tonight. We've got a Velociraptor over there. James is loving that. I'm loving what's under this this red this red cover. So Cables are cleated now, 2 cleats. Nice and uniform all the way along. Okay, we're now going to put some bandy strapper on. If you don't know what that is, it's called all-round band. It's basically like a plastic coated metal strap. It's really good for doing your premature collapse. We'll just cut some off to length and then wrap it around the cables and screw it in. Yeah?
Yep.
Recording?
Yeah.
So that's your all-round band. All you need to do is obviously get how much you need, and then you just get your sharp snips. Snip it off. There we go, so we've got cleats, and then we've got the all-round band wrap round, and then the screw straight through the centre of like 3 bits of it. So that'll give us our premature collapse. These circuits are going on non-RCD because they're in earthed armoured on the surface, and they are serving air conditioning points, not socket outlets, okay? Right, don't hit the Porsche, James. James, don't hit the Porsche.
Right.
No Costa tomorrow if you hit the Porsche. Right, we're going to get some lid on now. We didn't get any joiners, which is fine. We're going to run the lid over, okay? So don't butt your lids up because it'll look naff. So run the lid over, run it over, and you'll never end up with a joint crossing over, yeah? Okay, trunky is all up now. It's lidded. All we've got to do is get to... I've got to put a little piece of lid on there and get 1 end cap for there. And then the same here, as you see what I've done. I've just got to put an end cap, a little bit of making good, I suppose, if I want to. End cap there. He runs along, turns right, goes out there. Might get an end cap for there as well. So 4 end caps to get. We're now going to go and curl up the cables outside because that's the sort of side passage, and then we'll be back tomorrow. Just when you thought you could go home, I've now got a call out. It's 5:30 and I've dropped James off, and now I'm doing a call out. That's scary, isn't it? That immersion completely burnt out, and that's a thatched cottage, yeah? Basically, remade the cables up, moved it up. 20 amp switch was fine. Got rid of the horrible little timer, and he's turned it down because it was on 80 degrees. So it was boiling hot, and the reset had tripped as well, luckily. So it's all working, all sorted. See you tomorrow. Here we are, day 2. We've just sat in an hour's traffic. If I can find the footage, I'll put it here. There was a truck. It's dropped a load of sheds on the M40. If I find the footage, I'll put it here. We picked up some end caps. We could only get maxi. This is Marshall Tough Flex, but we can they'll go on like that, and they look quite nice. We just need to take a little bit of the wings off there, so we'll get that done. Then we're going to be outside in the rain. James is where is he? There he is. He's got actually shorter. Look, if you see, yeah, he's got a bit shorter. So right, we're now going outside. We've got our glam pack, waterproof glam pack, rotary isolator, 32 for the big one, and then 2 20s for the little ones. Got some saddles we need to put in, and then on that one we've got to come off the double socket. We picked up a Hagar enclosure and a double socket, and then that's got a 13 amp double pole switch in it, so we could probably do away with the isolator, but we'll still fit it. We'll put that before, then we've got the 13 amp protection on that. Well, as you can see, our cable is coming down and swooping. What I will do is fill that hole up, because obviously it is running level, but I don't want obviously any water to back up into that hole. I would do a massive drip loop, but it's going to look rubbish, so we're just trying to keep it as neat as we can. I'm going to go round and so I'm going to centre, miss one centre, do that all the way along. We'll then run the other armoured up and over, and then we'll back them up. I know these are upside down, but there's no weight on this cable, and it's going to look better because we can have a cleat. We can have a cleat and a cleat like that, okay? We do that, run along here, and then we're going to make our armours off. Right, first one's round. See where we're going with this, yeah? James was worried we didn't have enough, look, and I said to him, look, don't be worried, James. I know what I'm doing. Perfect measurement on that one. There we go. A lot of people missing the socks. Disappointing. Look.
I got socks on yesterday.
The heck are they, man? We did penguins yesterday. Look, James is repping the Rexall still. It's actually quite cold today and wet, but we've still got the shorts on. Yes. Before anyone asks in the comment, these are from Paul at PRS. I get these from the same place I get my work mats from. Right, this is where we are at. This one's ready to make off in a sec. Cable comes around underneath here, you can't even see him. James has laid all my bits out. We've done all the fixings up to the corner. We then got to go around this other bit here. We've got enough on this one. It's better to see it than to have to find it. Can't really show you anymore until we start making off some glands. Stupid hats. Oh, I'm wet and I'm cold. I'm cleating cables to the wall. I've gone round and fixed. I'm just screwing now all the cables to the cleats. James has gone round and plugged all my holes up, so I've drilled them all now. We're getting there. We are getting there on this one. Right, this is where we're at. This one is coming up here. We've got our 20 amp time guard. He's going to go up here, somewhere like that way. We're going to gland in the bottom and then put a black stuffing gland in for their flex. What I see a lot of people do is they make off to there, so they'll fix that. What I'll do first is I'll guesstimate where I want the gland, and then I've not got to get it bang on, then I can just fix this after. So we'll get this on first, then we'll fix it to the wall. Just as I said, I'm just making off this armoured first using the armour slice. I've got a James, guess what your next job is? I've got me hacksaw, which is perfectly fine, nice and sharp, but may as well, we got this, we may as well use it, eh? Just make sure you follow the rotation arrow on there, because the blade won't cut properly, yeah? And it's quite a big armour, so you can actually see through the little window there to see if you've scored them enough. Like that. Should be enough. See that in there? So we've scored him out enough. Beautiful. Right, my gland is made off. These are really small, these time guard. I picked up some new.
How do you open this?
With great difficulty. Does this plastic pull out or not? That's it, it's like a little handle. Pick some of these, what make are they, mate? Armoured cutters with a little thing in the middle. Apparently they're quite good. 20mm, we want that one there. And then the drill, mate. Did you bring it round?
Yes.
Bring it under it, it won't get so wet. Give these a go, look. The little spring inside. Might not be very good on plastic because it will probably melt it, but we shall give it a go. It's not here yet. Yeah, that's really good cutter on the really good drill, to be honest. That just popped out, whereas you'd be fishing that out with your screwdriver. It literally just came out, look, lovely and sharp. Awesome. So I reamed him off with my knife. You know you've done a good job when you don't take off that outer sheathing, okay? So we've got brown, black, grey. What colour, James, are we going to use for the CPC?
Grey.
No. We're going to use the black because that would associate neutral, wouldn't it, with the old colours? So we don't want to use that as neutral now. We're going to use that as the CPC and use the grey as the neutral, yeah? Flag that up blue. Brown is brown is life. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. We're going to put the we're just going to bush him onto the isolator, and then we'll banjo down earthing nut, whatever you want to call it, down at the board end, okay, and that'll earth this gland and the sheath for us. Obviously, you don't want to switch your earth, so you can switch your neutral. And then this is so epoxy in the back there. I'm going to put one of those big Wago connectors in the back there just for the earth, keep it continuous, always keep the earth continuous. Oh, yeah. Wet and cold. We're going to go to shop now, just cleaning up all the mess. It's 1 o'clock, so we're not doing too bad. We've got to make off. Client needs the power on. It's for 3:30, so we've got to do the shutdown into the mains board before that. So we'll have a quick bite, then we'll get the 2 cables made off into the new board, and then the other one that's on the existing circuit, we will do that this afternoon, because that comes off a different board. That's like the house board, so we can isolate the circuit locally rather than shutting down. We haven't got to go in the whole board basically, so we haven't got to do a whole shutdown on the board. But there's that isolator for that one. We're going to go to the shop now. Right, we're at the stage now where we need to get these 2 armoured into this board. Before I go ahead and drill holes and stuff, it's a couple of circuits here not used, hoping that it's a couple of armoured maybe, we're not sure yet. So what I'm going to do is get the lid off, proof dead, lock off here. We can then work in the board. Might be able to remove a couple of armoured, we don't know yet. So I might not have to drill anything, but I'll let you know when I get into it. I'm not sure what James is doing. What the heck is he doing? James, what have I said? You're not a painter and decorator anymore. Huh? Yeah. You're top of the food chain now, mate. If there was ever a concern for eddy currents, this is it. Jesus. That's all right. It's not too bad. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to strip out some of these circuits now, but we're going to kill it now and proof dead, lock off. This light from Milwaukee, what can I say? Awesome. Okay, we're locked off, proven dead. I've disconnected 1 armoured, which is not needed. We'll call it up, label it up what it was. I've got my 20 amp MCB in, my 32's in now. I've drilled 2 holes. I can double up my banjo on both of those. That's it basically. I'm gonna make them off now, make these 2 armoureds off, cable tie them down this tray. It's not doing much, but it's sort of there for show, I think. Put them into there, get them in, get them tested, get them on. Right, we're cable tied in, we glanded it in. Ours are glanded in. We're going to label our isolators up. So if you don't know how to do it, start on the left top of a 3-phase board, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So our label will be 4 L2, which will be that one, and 1 L2, which will be that one there. Right, there's going to be people that say you shouldn't double this up, but I'm really struggling for space here to put the 2 banjos. But anyone with any savvy is going to know that you're not going to take one of those out, okay? I've put the nut inside because it's a nylock nut. It's never going to come undone, so there's no chance of it falling into the DB. What else can I say? We're going to label these up now. We're off still. We're onto here because we've just done some testing, live testing on the main switch. We're now going to start introducing some loads back to the mains board. Mark our ones up now, label them up, and then we're going to test and label up the outdoor isolators. Well, we've put a new Hager IP66 socket. We're literally going to put a plug on this for now because it's like 13 amps max and it's probably like 8 running. And he's going to sit in that socket and just be there, and when they want to isolate they can turn off and unplug. Wet, wet, wet. Is that all right, mate? Yeah.